In this tutorial we are going to be adding in orient-like bones or cosmetic bones to augment the geometry bones and help the deformation look a lot better. So mainly around the joints is where we're going to do it. So let's first start out by going into bone mode. We've opened up our Rig 01 model, and there's a lot of places where we're going to want orient-like bones. Let's start out in the leg here. Let's go to our side view by hitting 6 on the numpad. The knee is a classic spot where we don't want things to collapse. We want them to hold their shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a bone in between the thigh and the calf. Actually, it will be a child of the thigh, and it'll be on the same hierarchy level as the calf, but it will be orienting somewhat like the calf, but somewhat like the thigh. This will help aid with the knee. So let's add one in here. What we want to do is we want to select the thigh and zoom in here and hit A to add another bone. You always select, before I do that, you always select the bone that you want it to be a parent of. Like I wouldn't select the calf, because if I did that then it would always follow the calf because it would inherit the properties. So I want to select the thigh, hit A, hit the very end of it here, grab it and pull it down so it's in the middle of the calf, and then pull the roll handle forward. Now you can see how it's fitting within the calf itself, like right inside. So let's go back to the side view here. Now if I select the calf, I can look down at its rotation. It's 96.11 in the X, so I can select this one, go to my rotation, it's 96.11. Now it's perfectly matched with the calf. And let's name this one OL calf left 50%. That means orient like calf left 50%. And that will control the middle of the knee so that we don't have a lot of squishing in there. It will hold the shape of the knee a lot better. So now that we've done that, let's do it with the ankle. The ankle's a spot that has a lot of problems usually, so let's select the calf, hit A, grab right here and draw one down, pull the roll handle straight up. Let's name it OL foot left 50%. Now once I do my construct, okay, so there we've got that one. Let's check the foot. What's the rotation? Is 26.31. So let's select this bone, go down to our rotation, 26.31. There we go. Okay, so we've named that one right. Now let's go down to the toes here. Select the foot, let's go to wireframe mode, hit A, add one in right here, and make sure all of its rotations are 0. And let's call this one OL toes left 50%. Okay, so you can see here in the hierarchy the foot, or the orient-like foot, is on the same hierarchy as the foot. They're both children of the calf. The same with the toes, and the same with the orient-like calf. So we've got all our orient-like bones in for the leg. Now let's do them for the thigh here. With the thigh, we're actually going to want probably 2 or 3 of them. Because it's such a big area that's deforming, we're going to want quite a few, and we also want kind of a roll fall off, and I'll show you what I mean. But let's do this. Let's take the calf, or the thigh here, and hold down Control, grab the thigh left, and drag it onto the pelvis again. This will give us an entire new chain here, but we actually don't want it, so I'm going to select everything but the thigh left 2 by shift clicking, or select the bottom and then shift click the top, hit delete, hit yes. That leaves me with just this bone. Now I can scale it, and I'm just scaling it down. This way it's actually pointing the exact same direction as the thigh because it's a duplicate of it. And that's what I want for the orient-like. So let's name it OL orient-like thigh left X1. The reason why I say X1, I always put the percentage in right here, but I don't know exactly what percentage it's going to be yet. So let's actually name it like 10 for 10%, and let's shrink it down just a little bit. Now we can duplicate this one, just by holding down control, click and drag, and let's name this 45, and then let's make it a bit bigger. Then let's take that one, control, drag, let's do 85. Actually, let's do 90. Okay, and then let's make it bigger by hitting S and go down. Now what I'm thinking here is this first one, 10%, is probably going to control this ring right here. That means it'll orient like at 10%, just a little bit. 45 will be right here, so it'll go quite a bit more, and then 90 will be this other one, so it'll almost be all the way. Now we can go back in and adjust that anytime we want. That's the nice thing about working in Animation Master. But let's change the colors so they're not the same. So let's go here. We're going to go dark green. This one will go a little bit lighter, and that one we'll make it yellow. So now you can kind of see where they're at. Let me move the so I've got that one, and this one. Okay, so that's for my thigh. Let's go back to our side view. Let's save this as Will Rig 02. Okay. Alright, so now I've got those orient-like bones in. I don't need anything along the chest, but I do need ones on the neck and on the arms. So let's do this. Let's go in here. And what I like to do is put in orient-like bones at the base of the neck and at the top of the neck. One for the neck and one for the head. So let's grab this bone right here, our spine 7, hit A to add a bone to it. Click the end of it and drag it up. Now select the neck and see what the rotation on it is. It's negative 73.94, so let's select that one. Negative 73.96, I was close, 94, there we go. And then we'll name this one, oops, OL neck 50%. I forgot on these ones up here to put a percentage after it. Oops. Okay. So now let's do one for the head. So let's select the neck, hit A, click on the end of it, and drag straight up. Now the head's rotation is negative 90, so it's straight up and down. So let's select this orient-like and make sure it's negative 90, so it's straight up and down too. And then let's rename it OL head 50%. Okay, let's save it. Okay, so now let's go to the arm. Go to the top view, so hit 5 on the numpad. The bicep, what we're going to do here is create one here, so hit the clavicle. Actually, let's select the bicep. Let's do the same thing that we did with the leg. Take the bicep left and then hold down control and drag it onto the clavicle left again. Now everything underneath here we're going to want to get rid of except this bone. The way to do that is on the numpad, if you hit the star, it will, oops, sorry about that. If you hit the star on the numpad, here we go, it will expand everything. So let's go back to our top view here. See how it expanded everything. So I want to select this, shift select all the way up to the forearm and hold it. You have to hold the shift down until it's done selecting. If I click here, hit shift, click and let go, it won't select it. You have to hold down the shift. So you do this, hold down shift, and it does it. So delete those. Okay, so now I've just got this bicep left 2. I just want to name it OL bicep left 10%. So now I can shrink that way down like this. I think I'm going to need probably 1 to 2 more, so let's do this. Let's go control drag, one more here. Let's change it to 50%, and then let's do it one more time. and change this to, oops, 85. Okay, just for the time being. So now take this one and enlarge it a bit, and then take this one and, using S, enlarge it just a bit. Now take this and make it really dark. This one a little bit lighter, and this one a little bit lighter. And let's make the bicep left. Let's make it actually a real good orange here. Okay. Alright, so that's done for the bicep. Now let's do it for the elbow. So let's select the bicep, hit A to add a bone in. So I just select it and drag it out, and then drag the roll handle so it flattens it out. Make sure it's attached. If you go down here, and sometimes attached to parent won't show up for some reason. Let's do this. If you drag it and drop it back on its parent, a lot of times that will refresh it, and then you can go down and there it is, click to attach to parent on. So let's select the forearm, and its rotation is all of this, negative 364. So let's go negative 3.64, 85.64, 89.43. Okay, so now we've got this one matching it perfectly. And let's rename that one OL forearm left 50%. Okay, so now let's go into our front view, and this is where we want to put in the bones that will do the rolling on the arm. So this bone actually right here, I'm going to shrink it down a bit, mainly because it's only going to affect this spline right here. What I'm going to do now is select the forearm, and I want to create children of it that will use these splines. So let's draw one in here. Oops, and you want to do them all separately, so select the forearm, hit another one, and put it in right here. Select the forearm, put it in right here. Select the forearm, put it in right here. Okay, now these, what they're going to do is they're actually going to roll like the hand, so we get a good roll on the wrist. They're going to roll like the hand, but they need to follow the forearm perfectly, just roll like the hand, so they need to be children of the forearm. So let's do this. Let's call them RL for roll like forearm, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 4 of them, and the 5th one is going to be 100%. So I actually want to go back 80, 60, 40, 20, and we can adjust later. So let's go. This is 20. Like I said, just so you see, this will be moving at 100% of the hand. This will be moving at 80. So this is 100. This one right here will be 60. This one right here will be 40. And this one right here will be 20. Now, like I said, these numbers are totally just right now what I'm looking at, and so we can change those later on. And it's actually pretty easy. So let's just select this one, copy that text, paste it here and go 40, paste it here and go 60, and paste it here and go 80. Okay. Now for the last one, let's go to our top view, and you can see how these bones are placed. I want to move them right in the middle here and orient them just like this forearm. Oop. Okay, let's move this one here and rotate it down. Just pull it back, -90. Okay. So those should be fine. You should get them as close to the middle of the bone as you can. And pointing right at the end. Okay, so we've got that. Now what we want to do is put our last one right here at the end. So on the forearm, select it and then hit A and then add one more bone that goes straight out this way and roll it back and go down, and it looks like you need to drag it back up onto the forearm and then select it and go down and tell it to be attached to its parent. Okay. This is -90. This is 90. Okay. Let's go to our front view and check it. And this right here. This I just want it to be 0. Okay, there we go. So let's rename that one. Instead of bone 1, let's call it RLOL, roll like and orient like, or OLRL, hand left, 50%, and 100%. What this is saying is it's going to orient like the hand 50% and roll like the hand 100%, and we'll do that in constraints, but that's just telling me what it's going to do. Most of these right here, the OL bicep left, these are the same things, but usually the orienting like and the roll like is the same thing, so I just leave it as OL. You can name them any way you want. That's just telling me personally that that's what the kind of bone it is. So I just like to name them that. You can name them whatever you'd like to. You don't even have to use percentages. It's just my own naming convention that I like to use. So, okay, so I've got that wrist in, and I've got the forearm in, I've got the elbow, I've got the shoulder, and I've got the neck, and so I think that's it for orient like bones. Like I said, everything is just on the left side right now, or the left side of it. This is my right side, but the left side of the character, and we'll be mirroring them over later. So for orient like bones, that's all that we need. We may end up putting more in later, but we can totally do that. The nice thing about Animation Master is it's completely non-linear, so I can be animating a character, go back in, remodel his face, go back in and put extra bones in, and it won't mess up the animation at all unless I move rotations of bones and things, but I can add all I want. So it's really nice, but for now that's all that we need to do for the orient like bones.